One, Bing, and we're live. Woo! It is website one kickoff. It's a Wednesday. Mike, I've forgotten how many syllables to use, but I think Mike. Yes, Mike, Vineet, Raoul, and Sam. We are here. We have, as always, a document, a Google document of doom. No, not of doom, of great retrospective kickoffiness. So let us just review the previous action items. We've lost Mike. Oh well. The first one, actually, so that's the pitch AV Freedom. That's actually, I have kind of done that, and I have that here. I don't know if everybody saw that. I'll just pop that in the chat here. Yeah. So this was just so we now have the Craft Academy students have AgileVentures Premium membership by virtue of their being Craft Academy, and that entitles them to premium things, which we've currently boiled down to these three things, which are getting voting rights in AV general meetings, because in our new charity status, assuming the government actually grants our charity status in the UK, we'll be required to have certain sorts of special meetings, and yes, I don't know if that's actually attractive to anybody. Maybe they would like, they don't want to be voting in general meetings on. I mean, anyway. But the two kind of things that, I mean, this is our kind of guess at stuff that people, want, and that AgileVentures can provide as a sort of premium service. So one is this idea of a priority code review, and the other one is eligibility to work on priority and paid projects. So anyway, do feel free to check that out. I'll pop that link in here as well. I think this is something that we will need to evolve, as we try and work out how to make AgileVentures into a sustainable enterprise.
My only comment on that would be the 48 hours.
Right.
I don't necessarily know that you want to put a time on yourself.
Right.
I don't know. It's up to, I mean, if it's some like massive, huge site, 48 hours, impossible.
Yes. I mean, I guess I feel you're right. I mean, the danger is that we have 20,000 people sign up for premium membership, and then basically I'm awake just with a caffeine drip, desperately trying to comment on pull requests to get the deadline.
In reality, it's probably going to happen within 24 hours. Assuming we only have a couple people, but I don't know. I'd be hesitant. Well, I'm always hesitant about putting a
Making
time
commitments of those sorts. Yeah, I guess what I feel I want to do is I want to sort of assure people that it's I don't know. Yeah, maybe it would be better.
Maybe instead of within 48 hours, say which will commence within 24 hours or something like that.
Okay.
That we'll start it. Because that wording's kind of it's going to be done in 48 hours.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Even if that's our only thing. If it's a huge website or something, it might not even be possible, depending on the complexity and stuff.
Yeah. Perhaps code review will commence in 24 hours. Yeah, I mean it's an interesting point, and this is just my guess at what will be the right thing. So I think the idea is that we can pivot to this. I mean, you can kind of say if we make this commitment and then remove that, that's better than that is actually
Yeah. And on the other hand, on the other side of that, if I was coming in here just fresh and looking at this, and I know I have a big site, I'm like, what kind of code review can they really do in 48 hours anyway?
But when you say you're mentioning something about a big site, which I'm not sure what you mean, like a big site. You mean that somebody's submits an entire huge site, and then we're asked to review it. Go on.
Just take website one.
Yeah.
Do we think we could do a full code review on a website, a good full code review on website one within 48 hours?
Yeah, my idea is that I take your point. My idea here is that this is a code review on pull requests on an existing project.
Okay, that wasn't clear.
Yeah, right.
I thought you meant a code review of their entire site.
No, no. So maybe sensibly, having identified that issue, we should put in here pull request code review there.
Yes,
Uh,
yes, that makes much more sense.
yes. I mean that's it's sort of it's there in some more details there, but yes. But excellent,
Yeah, I
excellent.
think 40 hours is fine if it's just a pull request. I thought you were saying that we were going to go review their whole site when they
No,
signed up.
no, no, absolutely not. That would be kind of insane. I mean, the interesting thing that we have with the Craft Academy folks is that they have kind of got this bundled as part of the big picture. I think some of them are quite, oh, that's cool, AgileVentures. We had a lot of, we had like 5 Craft Academy students in the stand-up this morning, although I think that's, they've got requirements to attend them. But I've been reaching out and saying hello to them. The interesting question is, like, the business model here for AgileVentures Premium is what is the kind of additional benefits that people will think is actually worth spending any money on just out of the box. And so maybe this list will need to change or what have you. I'm particularly interested, maybe it's not the right time, for Puneet, your thoughts on these kind of things, like what sorts of things would need to be in this list to convince you that it was a good idea to pay for AgileVentures Premium?
So my first, what I'll think is, I want to know what kind of expertise it means how many people are there in Agile Ventures and what kind of expertise they have. Means maybe I'm
Mm.
looking for something. My code is related to data analytics, is written in R, and I want to get it reviewed, but I have doubt whether some expert is there in multiple domains. There can be multiple possible
Mm.
domains that.
Interesting. That's a very interesting point, Puneet. So this is as regards AVP would like to know what kind of expertise is available within the AV community.
I mean, even
Go on.
even someone is facing some issues with his code, he won't jump in directly and without getting to know first that what he's getting into means. He like to know in advance that whether it possible at all or not. So means in terms of to convince a particular person whether he want to try this or not. It can
Right.
be anything. It's just not just data analytics. Not it
Yeah,
can be
yeah, which languages, which frameworks.
yes.
Yes. Yes. I mean, that gives me an idea, which is, taking like a graph of the AV members' GitHub repos, language stats, and then presenting an overview of the AV members' specialities and so on. I mean, that's just like a crazy random thing, but it's an interesting point. Yes, yes, a very good point, Puneet. Thank you. I'm very interested in that. I mean, I guess what I'm sort of hoping partly is that ultimately, if we have, there are some paid projects going on, then this is just this would be like that. This is going to be the really attractive thing there. Is that this is kind of like a baseline, in order to be eligible to work on paid projects, one would need to pay the minimum. You need to be a paid up member of the organization, so to speak. But interesting. Yeah, Raul, any thoughts on any of this?
No, none at the moment.
No worries. Cool. All right. Thanks, guys. Yeah. So Sam and Mike, ensure time and selection fix done. I guess, Mike, you haven't had a chance to work on that recently?
Sorry, I saw my name.
Yeah.
I had to take a phone call real quick.
No worries. Yeah. So the time zone thing. Yeah, that's this one. No updates on this.
Just what Mike and I did. I need to sit down and just do it.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, and I guess yeah. I mean, the other Michael hasn't been. I mean, I was away some of last week, and then we had Monday was off. What we've got coming up is that next week we're going to be asking the AV102 students to do a pair programming assignment, and so yeah.
Okay.
What I would say is, you know, just to see how you go. I will make myself available to help you get it done next week if it comes to that. So, okay.
Let me check my calendar.
Go on.
Are you going to be around Friday morning?
I am. Although, yeah.
My morning. So your afternoon.
Your morning. Yes, I do have one online meeting. It's the thing that's affecting my availability is trying to get. I've committed myself to trying to get full transcripts for every video in the AV102 course. Which by the way, are you following? Because you didn't do the AV102 course yet.
No, I haven't had time.
No, you know where it is. You know what it is and stuff.
Yes, I know what it is.
Okay. Oh, cool. Yeah. Good. Yes. I mean, it's. I don't know if this process of me transcribing all of the videos is a process in like desperate procrastination. Like it's kind of I'm sort of trying to. I mean, one, it's this terrible feeling of guilt that my eloquence in those videos is not very high as I review them, and so by providing the transcripts, I feel better about people suffering through my stuttering and repeating and saying and like 18 times. At the same time, actually reviewing all of these videos in detail is very interesting reflection on where we were and what we thought 2 years ago about AgileVentures and what's going on now and so on. But yeah, so I've got this kind of fairly tight schedule. If I get the all the transcriptions done, short answer, yes, a Friday is a possibility if you're free. So we'll pop that in as a possibility. Okay, so yeah, the latest code for the AV static website was done. Whether we should be rolling in this website 2 into our discussions website 1, perhaps that's something. But yeah, we've got so that's pushed up, that's done. We've got our little showcase sites, maybe more on that in a bit. I guess we're kind of giving up on a reliable way to replicate the intermittent.js failure. Won't fix, I guess, at the moment. Doing that thing with the PRs. Yeah, taking a real payment through the main site. Yeah, this is the list of things there that's now in that link there. So we can sort of remove that. I mean, I guess in principle, at some point we could take this live and link it to the payment system. But yeah, so that's still kind of a to-do. Yep, the UX thing is all looking, particularly with Raoul having got stuff out, it looks great. Projects pathway, no progress. Better way to scaffold pair hookups, who knows. So, struggles. I've been finding, so we've got this guy Charles, we had another meeting on Friday about reviewing the website's 2 setup. He quite liked what he saw, even though this template that we created was not, not so similar to what he was after. But he was very impressed with the how the template worked on the mobile view. If we go into like an iPhone 6 view, the site looks fine. And I mean that's not all fantastic work on our part. We use the Start Bootstrap template, and it all just sort of worked out of the box. We're more, I guess, the technical stuff that we've done is on the side of making it work with middleman and Raoul converting stuff from less to SAS for the style sheets and so on. But yeah, it's yeah, I'm finding like Charles is putting a fair amount of pressure on me to take it in a particular direction. We've got this, what's it called? We've got, this submission to Para Council, I mean, that I've been sort of working on for a number of years, and Charles is very keen for me to like sort of phone them up again and put more pressure on them and so on. Anyway, I'm using my approach of I don't know. It's other people. I don't know if it's you guys. It's interesting when someone is sort of really putting a lot of pressure on you to do one thing, or they're coming up and saying, "Oh, I think it's like this." In the past, I've always been tempted to sort of disagree with them and try and have it out. And I'm moving towards a strategy of saying, "Okay, that's interesting, yes," and not necessarily taking the bull by the horns. So anyway, he's on holiday for 2 weeks now. I just have mixed feelings about how what level of resources we're putting into this site versus developing the AgileVentures premium model. Any thoughts on any of that from anyone?
So I haven't been following much of the meetings you've had with Charles in the past 2 weeks or so. So I'm not quite sure exactly, what are the things you're not so happy about and stuff like that. So. But yeah, well, I guess we should just try to focus on the right things. Like we want to start having premium membership, and we decided last time to start building a website for to showcase our project and get more people submitting projects to us and all that. I think it's a good thing that we're having these meetings and getting his lots of input, having great input from him. But at the same time, we need to try and not spend too much time planning so many things and not getting anything done.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah.
Yeah, good point. Puneet, I think you were actually in the meeting with Charles. Any thoughts?
Nope, not yet actually. There's been a lot of discussion going on, and I'm still. I'll wait till I give my comments on this.
Sure, no worries. Mike, any thoughts?
No.
Good. Cool. Okay. Yeah. So I've already mentioned. Yeah, the AV1P transcription eating up my time. I basically it is I can do 10 minutes of video in 1 hour. It's really quite predictable, and so I have my work cut planned out for me carefully for the next 2 weeks, and then it will be done. So there we go. Yeah, the other Michael, who was around very regularly before, is yeah, not sure. I mean, he I guess comes and goes. There we go. Puneet was stuck with this cucumber test, testing GitHub accounts that I think we managed to resolve in the thing this morning. So that's any other struggles or any other concerns of difficulties we're having that people want to mention? If not, then let's jump on to successes. It was very nice to have, to see Charles quite pleased with, this site, although perhaps for the wrong reasons, who knows? But that was, I think it was certainly a success for Raoul and Michael and myself to get that middleman thing up. There's lots of interesting things in the sort of infrastructure components of it that we could spend lots of time on, but anyhow. Other successes, we have, Ruby 2.3 under the that's great. Thanks to Brian and Raoul getting it merged in. I was saying, I mean, it's Raoul who's done all the stuff, but the fact that we've now, I think we've fixed a lot of issues that we have, and overall, I think we've had a big improvement in what the events setup looks like. I guess one thing I notice is I find it kind of weird that when I go back, that I think I'm going to add that as a little UX bug. I think this is going back to the events page. It doesn't reset the drop down to say, when you hit the back button. Maybe that's kind of a somewhat obscure issue there, but I'll just pop that in as this is so like project drop down on event page does not reset when you after you filter and then hit back button. I think we're kind of overall in a much better place than we were when Mike was originally incensed by the UI problems. Well, I'll say, Mike, not that you've necessarily used the event system recently, but are you feeling it's going in the right direction?
I mean, yeah, definitely. I mean, it's light years ahead of where we were.
Yeah, good to hear. Excellent. So, and not that there isn't room for much more improvement, for a great deal of improvement, but I think as we've talked about, the key thing is, we'll have the AV102 students using it next week, and we'll get more feedback. So, yeah, great that that's all deployed, and the site seems to be working and seems to be stable. Puneet is using VCR to address this issue with the cucumber test, so that's all good. Glad we were able to review that. And Real is a merged machine, which we love. Excellent. Yeah. So the pull, the pull requests are, few. Documentation, of course, is my. Yes. I mean, I guess what I'm saying to myself is, once I've finished the AV102 transcriptions, and so then part of the ongoing work for the AV102 students is potentially to contribute to the AgileVentures projects. That'll be my cue to switch heavily to sorting out the documentation for local sport website 1, so people can be onboarded where appropriate. So, anything else that we want to mention in the field of successes? If not, we'll jump onto suggestions. I still have this domain model thing, which I think is sort of Michael's most interested in it. So again, maybe we'll pass that off, and if he's not here next week, then we maybe just sort of do it. I had this idea of replacing AirPair with Mentiv on the site. Thomas has pointed out that we could just remove AirPair before adding Mentiv and see if we can get it. I'm chatting with Jonathan from Mentiv about that. Anyway, we taught. I've kind of left this. This is left from previous week. I think it's just interesting. This space of different, shall we say, competitors or different business models in the space close to us. Has anybody had any thought after that discussion last week? Did anybody have any thoughts of other people who are doing things that are somehow related to us? There's like Block.io is providing online mentoring. Upcase. This is like skill up for junior developers.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's nice to kind of keep thinking about that. Yeah, and so thanks for the feedback there about the logo. Yeah, this was the sort of the default size of that for there. It's we can make that bigger, and of course that can just go into. We do have the AV Tech website. There we go. Issues. We can just add a new issue there, which is increase size of AV logo on. Or increase
on mobile, it really looks fine actually. It's just a desktop. It really looks small looking than biggest.
Yeah. Yeah, we could maybe add our logo and change to our font. Yeah, I'll just put that in there. Cool. So yeah, we added Mike's suggestion there. We sort of resolved that. And there we go. So I think we're done there. I don't know that we've necessarily generated any action items beyond the ones that we have. Is there any other suggestions that people have? Any other action items that we should note? If not, then let's move to the waffle board. Here it comes. So, yeah, I guess the only this is interesting because we've got several pull requests there. Website 1 pulls. So yeah, so that's work in progress there. So there's only one there. I guess we'll leave that one for when we come on, that's yeah, we've got lots of work in progress on this. That's great. So yeah, and Puneet, you're making reasonable progress with this. So we've checked in on with you on that today. So
Yeah.
Not a problem.
No,
We've got. I guess if I have some free coding time, and I may move on to trying to connect up the premium membership so that it's actually visible. I think we'll see. Raul, I noticed that you closed your security floor.
Yeah, it's because I started working on a new one from the update. Since we moved to 2.3, I started that from scratch again.
Okay. Sure thing.
I'm gonna be submitting a pull request soon.
Nice one. Okay. Excellent. And I think the other things are all kind of in play. It's interesting with this Epic. I mean, there's always more things we could do. It's an interesting question about whether that issue gets closed out. I think probably not for the moment. So going on, let's just review the ready column. The become a sponsor button not aligned. You were having a look at that, and it was turning out to be a little bit more complex than you had anticipated. Raul, what's the state with this one?
So this is the next thing I plan to work on as soon as I'm done with the gem upgrades.
Okay. All right. So, and that's something that we should leave with you for the moment?
Yeah.
Should we have a quick vote on it so that people understand what's going on?
Okay. Sure.
I mean, I'm conflicted because it's well, yeah. I'm almost tempted to vote on it if we actually just look at what the issue is that makes it slightly more complex. And I'm trying to work out this is the issue. So here we go. So it's this misalignment of the thing there. So I mean, since you've been looking at the issue, Raul, do you want to just describe to us what you see as the?
So, like, the first view is gonna be CSS things to redo there. I just need to redefine some CSS properties and get things done accordingly. Because I noticed that there was a style sheet for which file was that again? Sponsors.
Presumably this is part of the layout.
Yeah, so the sponsors one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we've got this become a supporter, and so we've got each of these things is a sponsor stand-in medal.
Yeah.
And including this thing itself, but the button, it's got button and button be a supporter as well. Interesting. And I guess it's funny.
So what I had done at first is that it seems like the sponsor bar itself was pushed on the left, on the right side, and so it wasn't entirely, like, if you remove there was a property that I removed at some point, and then it made it so that the text itself wasn't aligned with the images at the bottom. So I had a quick fix to like just push the text on the right, further on the right, to fix that. Now, as part of the button, I know that Bootstrap has a clause that they use to make the button fill the entire space available to it. So rather than just using the button be a supporter, maybe I can just make use of that default clause and then build on that.
Yeah. Well, go on.
Yeah.
What I'm just noticing here, as you're saying, it's the button is not filling the entire width of the list item, and I'm seeing there that it seems to have like the width there is hard coded to 205 pixels. But so I'm just wondering there. I made that change.
So you could remove that width, for instance.
There, took it out. Yeah.
Just try and add a class btn-block Let's see what happens. Yeah. Doesn't work quite well.
Yes, it's interesting. The thing there is that I was thinking of adding the width 100% would force it to, but it's like I guess the width is it's becoming it's just doing the width associated with the what's the word? It's doing the width associated with the text and not the thing, and so I guess it was like previously hard coded. I mean, I guess the simple fix is if we have this basic width. Oops, what have I done there? Yeah. If we have this, it looks like all of our sponsor things are set to be 215 pixels in width. That's kind of like our, specified size. So it seems like maybe the really simple fix is just to knock that to 215. If we have, just to get that fixed really quickly. I'm wondering. See, I would have thought I could go from button be a supporter there and jump to the style sheet, but I can't.
Look for sponsors.scss.
In button, there we go.
Yeah.
So it could be as simple as that. Is there? I take your point about all the other kind of stuff. Is there? I guess given that we have this fixed at like 215, I guess there's no immediate downside with getting a quick fix out there for the 215.
No.
Maybe I can even do a pull request. Okay, so everybody, any questions about any of that? Anybody ready to vote on just how complex that particular procedure is?
Yeah.
If no questions, your fingers on the Slack desk, and a 3, and a 2, and a 1, and a boom. Well, I think there was some effort involved, Mike.
Well, it's a 0 since we already fixed it.
Well, the pull request hasn't been reviewed yet. There may be some code and stylistic issues.
Okay. Yeah, just a 1. I was kidding.
Yeah, good stuff. Okay. Here we go. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, it's a good bit of work there. So yeah, I'll do a pull request off my code very soon.
Okay.
When event edit fails due to okay, so we've got these other right. So these are some other related UX things I'd love to get fixed on that. Epic events refactoring. Yeah, other bits and pieces there. Yeah. Okay. And I added that new thing there. If I say site. Yeah. So I guess that's kind of we've all got little bits to work on. There's nothing like the site is sort of running. It's not under heavy load at the moment. We'll see what happens once the MOOC starts up. But yeah, I guess unless anybody can think of something in the backlog that we really importantly need to pull into the ready column, I guess we're kind of done. Anybody got any thoughts about anything else that we need to resolve? Oh, all right. Well, I think that we're done. I mean, I'm just gonna maybe hang out here and just put in that very complex pull request that we've just done. But yeah, thanks everyone. And I'm assuming that this time continues to work reasonably well for everyone.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Cool. I can't help myself from screen sharing. Excellent. All right. Go on, Puneet.
It's Wednesday, so the retrospective meeting will be always on Wednesday on this time. I mean.
Yeah, that's how we've got it at the moment. Yeah, we moved it a bit later to help Raoul make it, but yeah, this is a regular fixture for the Website 1 project. And I guess I sort of feel guilty that I feel like I should be doing the same for the local support project, but I don't know. It's it's funny. Interestingly, with local support, we've gone through this phase of we had a lot of activity, and then it fell off, and so I stopped doing the the meetings. And now we have a lot of activity with the people who tend to be working individually and in pull requests. And I need to. Well, there's only so many projects that you can. There's only so many meetings that you can do. Yeah.
Just a quick question, Sam,
Yes.
about website 2.
Yes.
We had a brief discussion about the blog.
Oh yeah.
Who will be blogging in the website?
I think Charles wants to blog. He's got actually, in his pages is the Word documents. He's got like a lot of wordy stuff that he kind of wants to say about this, that, and the other. And part of the meeting that we had on last Friday was about saying that it makes more sense to put that in a blog than it does in the site. Like the site itself should be, relatively low word intensity, I think. And
all right. So that's mainly the reason why I had suggested that we set up a Ghost blog platform for the site, because it will make it easy for someone like Charles, for instance, to quickly make a blog post.
Right.
Whereas if we use Jekyll, it means the person needs to write the blog post and then submit a pull request and like all that kind of things, which he's probably not familiar with.
Yeah. Okay.
Where Ghost provides you with an interface where he can just log in and just start typing, essentially.
Right. Yes.
And plus, using Jekyll would be kind of like too much, because already Middleman provides you with a blogging platform. They have a blogging plugin that you can make use of. So. Yeah.
Okay. But so if we used Ghost, that would mean that we would not use the Middleman blogging functionality.
No, not at all.
No. Okay. Is there any advantage of us going with the Middleman blogging plugin?
Well, it will still be like Jekyll. Mainly, developers will have to write the post, because you write the post from your desktop, and then you need to regenerate the site again and publish it again. So
right. Okay.
That's quite involved for a non-developer. Yeah.
Okay. And so you've got some experience with Ghost, have you?
Yeah, I have set up some Ghost things in the past, so we'll just need some time to make a custom template for the site that matches the original website.
Right.
So,
yes. Okay.
And at the moment, both Craft Academy and I think Makers as well, they're using that as the blogging platform.
Yes, I think I've done blogs for Makers Academy through the Ghost interface, so that makes sense. Okay. Yes. So cool. Okay. So I guess we've got that as kind of a chore that is sort of separate from these different things. Thomas is very keen for me to blog on things and linking Craft Academy. I don't know if he wants to go on Craft Academy rather than on an AV blog, and I think Charles also wants me to be blogging as well about. He's very impressed with the what is it called? The ThoughtBot playbook, and he feels that it would be great if we had sort of a similar playbook that charities could be looking at to understand what's going on.
Or workflow, yeah.
Yeah, which is fair enough. Although it's a lot of documentation.
A lot of time to
to do
put it in there.
Yeah, cool. Okay. Well, I guess what I would probably do is I guess I'm going to say let's pop in an AV website one. Let's pop in an issue there to say set up Ghost blog with similar styles, and we'll come back to that when we're ready. I guess there's a question there for the Ghost blog. The Ghost will presumably have to use a static style, so we would need to take like the compiled style out of the middleman and then stick that in the Ghost blog.
Yeah.
So need compiled style. Style from middleman site. Okay, Great. All right, guys. Well, have fun. I mean, Puneet and Mike, if you were both free, you could do some pairing now, but you may not be free. Otherwise, Mike, yeah, I'll certainly be online on Friday, your morning, my afternoon, and we'll see if we can get something sorted out.
Okay. We'll try.
All right, thanks, guys. Good meeting. Take care. Bye for now.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Ciao.